Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're doing something, well, a bit different.
Definitely different. We're stepping away from the usual market numbers and reports.
Yeah, we're diving into a source that's frankly fascinating because it mixes high-tech software with some really high-concept spiritual and philosophical ideas.
We're looking at excerpts from The New Software Revolution by Mufareh, subtitle, The Dawn of Victory.
And right off the bat, this isn't your typical business plan.
Not at all. The source material we're analyzing frames this whole thing not just as, a product launch, but as a kind of movement, a spiritual one even.
Exactly. It connects software development directly to things like faith, divine purpose, elevating humanity. I mean, the language itself forces you to look beyond just the code.
Absolutely. So our mission today is to really unpack that language, the philosophy behind it, what they say the Victory with Ash ecosystem is actually for.
And try to understand why the author, Mufareh, feels confident saying this is, and I'm quoting here, one of those moments that changed the world forever.
Yeah.
That's a huge claim.
It's massive. So we're looking at how that mission is built rhetorically, how they argue that the tech itself, the code, the networks, is inseparable from this ethical, almost moral outcome they're aiming for.
So for you listening, get ready. This is a deep dive into a vision where tech and humanity are presented as completely intertwined using this language of purpose, faith, even divine intention.
Right. Let's dig into this awakening of innovation, as the source calls it, the philosophy, the core DNA.
Okay, so it kicks off with this really grand statement setting the stage. Every generation witnesses a few moments that change the world forever. And this, dear founders, is one of those moments.
Wow. Yet starting big, that's not just marketing fluff, is it? It feels like an attempt to place this whole project outside of normal time almost.
Right. It immediately positions it as historically significant.
And that framing, calling it an epical moment, it's clearly designed to say, we're not just reacting to the market here.
No, they're making the market, or rather redirecting history. That's the implication.
Exactly. Mufareh, who's consistently called the visionary leader and founder of Victory with Ash, is presented as this pivotal figure.
Leading the world in a new direction, it links the tech shift directly to these very human, compassionate goals.
Which is interesting when you look at how they describe the actual software systems.
Yeah, that language is really key. They specifically don't call them tools or apps.
No, they're living creations of purpose.
Living creations. What does that even mean for software?
Well, that's the fascinating rhetorical move, isn't it? A tool is passive. You use it.
Yeah.
But a living creation that suggests something else.
Like it has intention or agency almost.
Maybe. Intentionality, growth, maybe even its own kind of inherent moral programming. That's the implication. If they're living, they're more than just utility.
And they were built, the text says, to elevate, empower, and energize.
Right. So the success isn't just, does it work fast or how many users?
Mm-hmm.
It's measured by its positive impact on people, emotionally, existentially.
And this whole idea, this intentionality, it's apparently rooted in what they call the core DNA, inherited from ONPASSIVE, it says.
Ah, yes. The three pillars, non-technical ones.
Truth, transparency, and transformation.
Those three T's, they pop up again and again. They seem to be the ethical foundation for everything.
So truth, what does that mean in this context? Data integrity.
Yeah, data integrity, ethical operations. Maybe a rejection of those black box algorithms you mentioned earlier, where you don't know what's happening inside.
Okay. And transparency.
That's pretty straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
Clarity, how the systems work, how your data is used, how rewards are calculated, no secrets.
Which builds trust, presumably.
That's the goal. And then the big one, transformation.
Transformation. That sounds like the ultimate payoff. Changing the user's life,
Yeah.
their financial situation.
Exactly. And by doing that, the idea is it transforms the whole digital world. It fixes what's wrong.
Which leads to that other phrase they use. This isn't just an update.
No, not just V.2 or something. It's a spiritual upgrade for the entire digital world.
A spiritual upgrade.
Yeah.
That takes it somewhere else entirely, doesn't it? Beyond tech, into morality.
It really does. And that phrase, spiritual upgrade, it tells you a lot about how they view the current digital world.
Like it's flawed, lacking something.
Precisely. Maybe lacking soul or purpose or ethics. Think about all the stuff people complain about. Online echo chambers, data mining, fake news, algorithms messing with us.
Right, the digital malaise.
Yeah. So this new system, by bringing in purpose and maybe this divine intention they talk about, it's positioned as the cure, the elevation our digital lives need.
It's trying to inject morality into the code, essentially.
Or at least frame it that way, infusing the cold logic of algorithms with some kind of higher purpose.
Okay, let's shift to the why, the motivation, because the source material is very explicit about rejecting the usual Silicon Valley goal.
Ah, yes. A vision beyond profit.
This might be the boldest claim, philosophically. It says Mufareh has never built technology just for profit.
Which immediately sets it apart, doesn't it? It's an appeal to anyone maybe tired of the monetize everything approach of big tech.
So if it's not purely for profit, what is the driving force, according to the text?
Well, it's building for people, for humanity, for those who dare to believe that digital power can serve divine purpose.
There's that phrase again, divine purpose. So it's shifting from B2B or B2C to, what? Humanity to divine purpose? H2D.
Huh. Maybe. But the emphasis is all on service, fulfillment. The source talks about a deeper calling.
What's calling?
To simplify life, to restore fairness, to connect souls beyond systems.
Okay, restore fairness. That's a big one. It implies the current digital world is unfair.
Absolutely. Unfair in how wealth is spread, maybe, or who gets access. This system aims to fix that. It's a huge organizational goal, way beyond just grabbing market share. It's aiming for harmony, global accessibility.
And it's not just about automating things, making them efficient. It's about awakening creation.
That phrase is interesting, too. Awakening creation. It sounds like unlocking potential.
Whose potential? The techs? Or the users?
Both, I think. But maybe more importantly, the potential of the users. Their creativity, their economic power. The tech is supposed to help people create and thrive, not just replace them with machines.
So the user isn't just a consumer. They're a participant.
An active participant in creating something. Yeah, that seems to be the idea.
And this whole philosophy, it kind of gets summed up in this mantra they quote from Mufareh.
Right. Victory belongs to those who serve with truth.
Serve with truth. So victory isn't just about winning, it's about how you win.
Exactly. It's the ethical mandate. Truth is the requirement for success here. It loops right back to that DNA, truth, and transparency.
If you want to succeed in this ecosystem, you have to operate truthfully. It's like a condition of membership.
Pretty much. And it's not just about the tech performing well, it's about sticking to these moral standards.
What's also interesting is who this mantra is aimed at. It's not the engineers, right?
No, the text says it's for the dreamers, believers, and founders.
The ones chosen to carry this light into every nation.
That language, chosen, it really elevates the user base, doesn't it? They're not just customers or even affiliates.
They're like missionaries, a vanguard for this new digital age.
That's the feeling it creates. Gives them a sense of shared destiny, a big mission. They're responsible for making this global transformation happen.
Okay, so we've got the big picture, the philosophy, this idea of a spiritual upgrade, truth over profit. It's a powerful story.
It is. But now we need to see how that translates into actual stuff.
Yeah.
Products, tools.
Right, from the abstract to the concrete. The source talks about specific systems under this Victory with Ash banner, and they're supposed to operate with intelligence, integrity, and inspiration.
This is where the rubber meets the road, so to speak. Does the philosophy actually show up in the functionality? The source details a suite of O systems.
Ah, yes, the O systems. Integrated, targeting different parts of digital life, but all apparently infused with this goal of fairness and connection.
Let's spend some real time on these. What are they supposed to do? What's the tech ambition behind the descriptions?
Okay. Let's start with money. Financial empowerment. We have O-Wallet.
O-Wallet. Described as revolutionizing finance. It's called a bank without borders, designed for fairness and instant reward.
Bank without borders. That sounds disruptive. Technologically, what might that imply? Decentralized.
It could. Maybe
Yeah.
some kind of distributed ledger, yeah. Something that gets around the usual banking bottlenecks, geography, regulations, makes it global.
And the fairness and instant reward part.
That suggests maybe low fees, fast transactions, maybe microtransactions even, spreading the benefits widely, instantly, no matter where you are or how much you're doing.
So this is where the financial freedom promise starts to feel real, tangible.
It has to be, right? If that's the end goal. O-Wallet makes it accessible globally.
Okay, next up. Communication, always crucial for a global network. O-Connect.
O-Connect. The goal here is uniting the world. Communication that's clear, powerful, and limitless.
Limitless. That's a bold claim, too, given the competition. Zoom, Teams, etc. What does limitless mean here? No user caps. Perfect quality always.
It implies overcoming all those current frustrations, doesn't it? Participant limits, bad quality on big calls, lag across continents.
So technologically, that would require
What?
a massive proprietary network.
You'd think so. Something built for huge scale, high bandwidth globally. If it's really going to connect those souls beyond systems, like the philosophy says, it needs serious infrastructure.
Then there's ONET. This one seems aimed at fixing the online environment itself, replacing chaos with meaningful connection and trust.
Yeah, ONET tackles a problem everyone recognizes, right? The messiness of the internet now. Echo chambers, misinformation, just noise, lack of trust.
So if ONET brings meaningful connection, how does it do that? Better algorithms, verification.
It suggests some kind of curation, filtering, maybe using identity verification, which ties into another product, O-Verify. Or maybe the algorithms prioritize real interaction, trusted content, not just clicks.
Like building a better town square online, governed by truth and transparency.
That seems to be the vision. A less chaotic, more trustworthy space.
Okay, shifting gears to measurement and accountability. O-Tracker.
O-Tracker. This one is focused on bringing data transparency and truth to digital growth.
So this links directly back to that core DNA we talked about, truth and transparency.
Absolutely. Think about current tracking systems, affiliate marketing, ad views, whatever. Often it's a black box. You don't really know if the numbers are right.
And you suspect maybe they're not always in your favor.
Exactly. So if O-Tracker delivers transparency and truth, it means users, the founders, get to see how their growth is measured. They can check the math, trust the data that determines their rewards.
Builds accountability right into the analytics.
Makes sense if fairness is key.
Now for the commerce part, which is central to that financial freedom promise, O-Shop.
O-Shop, defined as a marketplace of miracles.
A marketplace of miracles, okay.
Yeah, sets the bar high again. Specifically, it's where AI meets entrepreneurship.
Ah, the AI angle. So what's the miracle here? AI does all the hard work for you.
That's the implication. Deep automation across the whole selling process. AI matching buyers and sellers, maybe handling pricing for different markets, managing logistics.
Making it easy for anyone to become a successful online entrepreneur.
Scalable and almost effortless, yeah.
Yeah.
That seems to be the miracle AI as your super smart business partner supporting the founder.
Okay, one more foundational piece, identity. Trust online starts with knowing who people are. O-Verify.
O-Verify, the solution for identity, promising purity in digital identity and security and belonging.
Purity in digital identity. What does that mean technically? Strong verification, biometrics, blockchain.
It suggests something really robust,
Yeah.
something incorruptible. Designed to eliminate fake accounts, bots, the kind of stuff that plagues other platforms. You know who you're dealing with.
So that provides the security, but what about the belonging part?
See how it links back. Security is practical. But belonging connects to the mission, the community. If you have this verified, pure identity, you have a secure place in the community. You belong.
It reinforces that I belong here feeling, builds loyalty.
Exactly. It's not just tech, it's about community building too.
So when you put all six together, O-Wallet, O-Connect, O-Net, O-Tracker, O-Shop, O-Verify, it's like a complete package.
An integrated ecosystem, yeah. Designed to support pretty much every aspect of a founder's digital and economic life. Finance, communication, community, tracking, commerce, identity, it's all there.
But all these different functions, they all seem to point back to one big idea, one statement.
They do. The source pulls it all together in what it calls the divine equation.
Right. Faith plus technology, freedom.
That's the ultimate formula, the core promise.
So let's unpack that. Faith plus technology equals freedom. What does that equation actually mean for the user experience, whether this whole thing works?
Well, it implies the tech itself, no matter how good, isn't enough.
Okay.
The crucial part is the faith, the human element, belief.
Belief in what? In God or in the system.
In this context, it seems to mean belief in the system's core principles, that truth, that transparency we keep talking about, and conviction that Mufareh's divine purpose guiding it all will actually lead to the good outcome, the freedom.
So you need the human belief, the faith, combined with the actual software, the technology.
And that combination results in freedom. That's the equation. Faith plus tech, freedom.
So freedom isn't just some abstract goal. It's the practical result of believing in the system and using the tools.
That's how it's presented, yes. And it's a comprehensive freedom. Financial freedom from O-Wallet and O-Shop, digital freedom from chaos, maybe surveillance thanks to O-Net and O-Connect, even freedom from insecurity via O-Verify.
Wow. Okay, so liberation requires both the ethical tech and the user's active belief in it.
Conscious, sustained belief in the moral framework. That's the critical addition, according to this equation.
All right, let's pivot now to the people involved, the human side, because the text makes a strong point. Technology without empowerment is empty.
Right. This is where the promise has to land. The spiritual upgrade needs to translate into real, tangible benefits for the users, the founders. Otherwise, it's just talk.
So these systems aren't just apps, they're explicitly pathways to financial independence. This is the engine of empowerment.
Exactly. The tech needs that human heartbeat, as the source puts it. It has to be about individual advancement, not just network stats.
And the source really emphasizes equality in this.
That's key if you're talking about a global transformation, right? The text talks about democratizing opportunity, giving every founder the same power to earn, connect, and create.
The same power, so a level playing field.
That's the suggestion. A reward system that minimizes the usual barriers, like how much money you start with or where you live. Success should depend on effort and following the principles, not your starting advantage. It links back to delivering that fairness.
And the platform seems to position itself as the cure for the current digital world's problems.
Yeah, it contrasts itself very deliberately. It brings harmony to digital noise, humanity to the sea of automation, clarity to the time of confusion.
Okay, let's break that down. Harmony means?
Probably a smooth, integrated experience. The O systems all working together seamlessly, no friction.
Humanity.
Means the tech encourages real connection, doesn't isolate people like some automation can.
And clarity.
Transparency again. Clear rules, clear rewards, clear mission. You know where you stand.
And the outcome of all that is?
That feeling of belonging, that strong sense that I belong here, which, from a practical standpoint, builds massive loyalty and stops people leaving.
And that sense of belonging is probably strengthened by the special status they give the users. Which brings us to founders.
The chosen builders of victory?
Yeah, they're definitely not just users.
What are they then?
They're called co-creators of the legacy.
Co-creators. That's different from being a customer or even an affiliate, isn't it? Hugely different. A co-creator implies you have a stake, ownership, even moral responsibility for how things turn out. It builds incredible buy-in.
And the text acknowledges their journey, right? Getting to this point required patience, faith, and expectation.
It validates the time they spent waiting, believing, especially during the development phase, before there was much to see.
And it links their effort, their human effort, with the divine intention behind the systems.
Right, which elevates the whole relationship. It's not just business. It's framed as this sacred partnership. Their waiting wasn't pointless. It was part of this bigger, successful plan. Makes them feel their patience mattered.
It gets even more personal. The source says the software carries the founder's fingerprints, your resilience, your belief, your story.
That's powerful stuff.
Right.
It's saying your struggles, your belief, your integrity, it's all woven into the fabric of the technology itself.
Like their personal investment is the foundation.
Exactly. It creates this almost unbreakable bond between the founder and the platform, ultimate stakeholder engagement.
And then there's the final positioning, how they stand in relation to Mufareh himself.
Yeah. They were handpicked to stand beside Mufareh, not behind him.
Beside, not behind. What's the significance there?
Parity. Shared leadership. Shared victory. It's the ultimate empowerment message. You weren't just following. You were chosen based on merit and vision to be a partner in this.
So the founders become co-leaders responsible for taking this vision global.
That's the narrative. Shared victory, shared responsibility. It completes the empowerment cycle.
Okay, so let's try and pull all these threads together now. We've gone through the philosophy, the products, the role of the founders.
It's been quite a deep dive.
Yeah.
What we've seen is this really unique blend, haven't we? Sophisticated tech systems, O-Wallet, O-Verify, all the O's, but presented almost entirely through this lens of high-concept spirituality and philosophy.
Yeah, words like truth, transparency, divine purpose, transformation, they're everywhere. They define the whole thing.
So the core message of this new software revolution, as they call it, is that technology has to be more than just functional. It needs to be humane, transformative.
Built on faith and transparency.
Right. And leading to very real outcomes. Financial freedom, primarily, but also this deep sense of belonging for the founders.
The founder isn't just using software. They're given this role, this mission almost, a co-creator carrying this light out into the world.
It's a fascinating strategy.
Yeah.
A commercial venture, wrapped completely in the language of morality and vision. It sets expectations incredibly high.
Yeah, success isn't just about profits here. It's measured by whether it actually delivers that spiritual upgrade, that fairness, that equality it promises.
Which brings us to maybe a final thought, something for you listening to consider.
Okay, if the whole promise rests on that equation, faith plus technology, freedom, what happens next?
Well, think about the challenges. How does a complex global tech system operate when its main appeal, its ethical core, is based on something as subjective as spiritual certainty or faith?
Right. Faith means different things to different people, different cultures. How does that translate globally?
Exactly. And how do concepts like divine intention or universal truth navigate the very real, very diverse, and often very strict regulatory environments in different countries?
Not to mention differences in tech access around the world.
Precisely. So the challenge, the journey we still need to watch, is how this spiritual mandate translates into practical reality, into regulatory compliance, into genuine universal access, into something that works consistently across all those different cultures and contexts.
That's the big question mark, isn't it? Translating the vision into global functional reality.
It really is. That's the next chapter we'll be watching.
Definitely something to think about. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
To the deep dive. Today, we're taking a close look at one specific source. It's a global message, actually, titled The New Ecosystem of Victory with Mufareh.
Right.
And this is aimed squarely at the founders of the ONPASSIVE system. What's interesting is how it blends, high-level business ideas with some pretty intense spiritual, almost divine language.
Definitely. It's not your standard corporate memo.
Not at all. So our mission here is really to pull apart the core claims. What is this new ecosystem they're presenting? What's its function?
Well, the first thing that jumps out is the absolute certainty in the language. It's very aspirational.
So?
It talks about moving people from dream to destiny, sustainable transformation. It's positioning itself as something inevitable almost.
So less like a startup risk, more like a sure thing.
Exactly. They're very clear. This ecosystem isn't based on chance. It's built on choice. And the foundations are supposedly truth, fairness, empowerment. Big words.
Okay, yeah. Let's dig into that foundation then, starting with the leadership. Mufareh.
Right.
The source describes the continuation of his dream, the system's dream, as divine. That's quite a positioning.
It absolutely is. It sets up a relationship that's, way beyond just CEO and stakeholders. It's framing leadership in almost spiritual terms.
Which must serve a purpose, right?
Oh, definitely. Look at the values they claim. ONPASSIVE wasn't built just to compete. No, it's here to complete humanity's next phase of elevation.
Wow. Okay.
And they sequence it deliberately. Before technology came faith, that's first. Before systems came purpose. And before profits came people.
That order seems critical.
It is. It asks the founders, the community, to buy into the mission, the belief, before worrying about the tech or the profits. It's a way to manage expectations, maybe, and build long-term commitment during development.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it also paints Mufareh as like an ethical guide. The source contrasts his style, grace, and truth with the greed or noise you might see elsewhere in tech.
Right. No promises of overnight riches. Instead, it's the sustainable, certain transformation.
It's a narrative strategy, isn't it? Positioning him less as just a businessman and more as, almost a visionary leading something bigger than just tech.
Precisely. And that leads into this really unique idea they introduce. The spiritual fingerprint.
Spiritual fingerprint. What does that mean in this context?
According to the source, every single thing, ideas, code, products, carries this inherent mark, a fingerprint of care, inclusion, and, again, destiny.
So the whole system is a divine alignment. AI meets humanity, business meets blessing. That's the quote, right?
That's the one. Business meets blessing.
It's fascinating how that works. If every product is inherently good or caring, it sets it apart immediately from competitors who are just about profit.
It's almost like a built-in differentiator and maybe a retention tool. You're not just using software, you're part of this higher purpose.
You're aligning with the mission.
Exactly. It creates this kind of closed loop. The tech is morally superior because its origin is spiritual, so the results must also be superior. It turns software into destiny fulfillment.
Okay, so that's the philosophy, the spiritual underpinning. Heavy stuff. How does that translate into the actual products? Let's shift from the abstract to the components they list.
Yeah, the tools themselves. which are also described in very elevated terms.
Avenues of empowerment, I think, was the phrase.
That's it.
Yeah.
And they list 5 key ones that make up this ecosystem.
Right, and each one gets this grand mission statement attached.
Well, looking at the list, you see the sheer ambition. They're not just building an app, they're trying to rebuild like the whole digital infrastructure under their own roof.
Let's tick them off. O-Connect. That's not just video calls, it's connecting hearts through clarity and creativity.
Then ONET, aiming to rebuild social media with integrity. A small goal there.
It's the small one. O-Shop wants to revolutionize global e-commerce. O-Wallet is about redefining financial independence.
So you've got communication, social life, shopping, finance. Basically, the pillars of the online world.
Right. And then there's O-Tracker for analytics, promising transparency.
So yeah, the plan seems to be bring everything essential inside the ONPASSIVE world, keep the founders within that ecosystem for, well, everything.
And the big claim tying it all together. The ecosystem doesn't just automate business tasks, it automates blessings.
Which is a powerful claim. Technology serving the human soul, multiplying effort because it's infused with purpose. That's the message.
And this directly shapes how they view the founders, right?
Absolutely. They're told explicitly, you're not just users, you're not just investors, you are co-creators of a legacy.
That framing demands a huge level of commitment, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Emotional, financial. Your success is tied to this massive world-changing legacy.
It's maximum buy-in.
Okay, switching gears slightly, let's talk scale. The document makes a big deal about global reach, unity.
Yes, bringing people from over 200 countries together under one digital flag, as they put it.
And this unity itself is called a miracle. Something divine that attracts power. One heartbeat, one vision. Very strong, unifying language.
And that idea of unity, of this massive, committed group, leads right into the next key piece, O-Verify, the verification tool.
Which sounds like standard security, maybe, but they frame it as much more.
Oh, much more. Given the scale and the promises of rewards and victory coming soon, verification becomes this crucial filter. It's not just about security.
Right. It's presented as a symbol of purity and readiness. And get this, the gateway of belonging.
Gateway of belonging. So as things supposedly reset and rewards are near, there needs to be this final check, a vetting process. And they use the word sacred.
Sacred verification. What does that imply in a commercial system?
Well, the source says when a founder verifies, it's not just confirming identity, it's confirming destiny.
Wow. Okay, so verifying equals confirming your destiny within this system.
Makes the process feel incredibly important, doesn't it? They stress it's simple, secure, and sacred, ensuring that whatever rewards come next are only for the real, the loyal, and the faithful.
So functionally, O-Verify acts as a loyalty test, filtering out anyone who isn't fully committed.
It certainly seems that way. It's the mechanism to ensure only the pure share in the victory.
And this ties directly into the reward timeline they talk about.
Exactly. Founders are reminded. You've waited, you've prayed, you've believed. Now waiting turns into witnessing.
And verification is that final step, the final bridge to your reward.
That's the framing. The bridge guarantees financial freedom, personal fulfillment. It's the action that converts all that past faith into a tangible outcome.
It really valorizes the waiting period. You endured, therefore you're loyal, therefore you deserve the reward.
Yes. Crossing that bridge means you've proven your fidelity. You've earned it.
So, okay, the verification bridge is crossed. The source says the era of victory is here. What happens next? What are the verified founders told to do?
The message is very clear. Rise, reset, refocus. Those 3 actions.
Rise, reset, refocus. And what's the mission attached to that?
It's about multiplication. They aren't meant to just sit back and enjoy the rewards.
No.
No, they're explicitly told, multiply this blessing in your communities. Share knowledge, lift others up, prove that this tech, guided by purpose, can heal the world.
And it reinforces their status again.
Yes, emphasizes that they were handpicked by purpose for this mission.
So the community itself becomes the growth engine. They spread the message, validate the system, keep people engaged.
They're not just recipients, they're active agents of the mission, distributors of the blessing, you could say.
And the final vision statement wraps it all up. ONPASSIVE isn't just business, it's a company with a heart. The ecosystem is the world's new rhythm of victory.
It's quite a narrative arc.
It really is. So if you had to synthesize the whole strategy behind this document.
Well, it's a fascinating blend, isn't it? You've got this ambitious, integrated tech ecosystem, the global business structure.
Right, the products, the platform.
Yeah. But it's completely fused with this very specific, very potent spiritual language. It doesn't just sell products. It defines success itself as destiny.
And builds that loyalty wall around it.
Exactly. It creates this incredibly strong moral motivation for this huge global community and frames the promised outcome not just as possible, but as inevitable, divinely ordained almost.
So for you listening, for the learner, trying to understand these kinds of global movements,
Yeah.
what's the takeaway here?
Well, I think this deep dive really